Hello everybody, and welcome back. And I finally figured out, well, at least most of the stuff required for the 50k giveaway contest, and it's a lot more complicated this time around because there's so many additional things that I need to juggle. So first things first, let me tell you about the prize pool. So prize pool is all the things that I have to give away. Now some of these items I will be combining together to form bigger prize packs. So here's what is available. There will be a t-shirt. There's 3 Belfasts. There's going to be 1 Tier 7 Premium. There's a Tier 6 Premium. There's 4 30-day premiums. 3 14-day premiums. There's a flag pack. And there's 10 weekend warrior packs. So you're wondering, why does it sound like it's a pool and it's a little bit vague right now? And it has a lot to do with the fact that today, when I was trying to figure all this stuff out and I was looking at the different regions, premium stores, it's like, oh, so EU has this, NA doesn't have this, this is only here for 10 days, this will be gone by the time this thing is done. It's like, so instead what I decided to do is that I'm gonna have this pool, and then when I figure out at the end who the winners are in first, second, third place, whatever, I will combine stuff together, form packs and whatnot, so that the first place winner gets something really nice, so on and so forth. And then, I'm able to sort of be flexible about things. Now, just keep in mind that, in all my past giveaways, generally speaking, if you're like sort of top 3, generally speaking, things are quite nice. So I'll leave it at that for now. And so I'm probably going to have to explain to you guys what the actual contest events are. There's sort of 2 different ones. One of them is in-game. So, those of you who like to do stuff in game, that one will probably be for you. Now if you don't really like the gaming part but you do like the art part, then the first part's for you. So there's a t-shirt art design contest, and yes, that 1 t-shirt that I'm gonna give away is part of this, right? You guys can sort of guess who's gonna win this one. All right, anyways, so the art design contest, it goes like this. Design a picture for a t-shirt. Now this particular picture has to include a few things. There's got to be either penguin or penguins. There's got to be a cat, and it's got to have a ship. Now, ideally, okay, well, maybe not ideally, preferably, see, that's a better word. Preferably, if you could do ships that I really like, that would be really cool. So, like, Nagato, Atago, a carrier, those would be really sweet. However, if you can get some other ship class to work really, really well, so like a destroyer or something, and you think it looks really sweet that way, that's perfectly okay as well. And if it looks nice, that's like the main thing, right? This is an art contest after all. Those are some of the requirements and the guidelines. You guys can do it in whichever style or form you want, and send me your submissions and show me what kind of artistic talent's out there. All right, so for the art part, there's 3 prizes, first, second, and third, and the rest of them will be gameplay-oriented prizes, right? Now, this is not going to be like who's going to get the highest base experience or who's going to get the highest damage and things like that, because that's quite selective. That's just always picking best players, and I really want this to be open to everybody. So after much pulling my hair out, finally decided that we're going to use the big race map to do, well, the thing that it's named for, to do an actual race. So here are the requirements for the race. So, and here's how you do it. Get a training room first. Get a training room. Make sure you set the room up for 60 minutes. Make sure you select the big race map. Make sure for mode you select ranked. You're allowed to bring in only a tier 3 Wakatake. No captain point, no captain skills, and only free consumables. No speed flags are allowed. And what you have to do is race around a designated course around this. And the person who finishes the fastest, obviously, we will time you and make sure everything's correct. So what you have to do, first of all, is at H3, you saw that little dock. You have to reverse in, make sure your stern touches that dock. When the timer on the top right-hand corner reaches a perfect minute mark, that's when you can set off. So the first thing you do is you take off and you do a slalom between this medium-sized island to my left here and this small island here. You're going to make a little bit of an S shape through them. Once you complete this maneuver, you're going to go almost, make sure not to hit islands. That'll really slow you down, right? So then you continue in a northeasterly direction. We could call this north, I guess. All right. So you continue in this direction. Now this part you will notice is not super difficult. There's not too many obstacles. So you really have to contemplate, how to prioritize which way you're gonna go, how fast you're gonna go. Are you gonna, touch your rudder, not touch your rudder? There's so many little things you have to think about. So you make your way through these two islands over here. And you'll notice that this is where there's a domination cap. Now, you have to be in a training room, again, like I mentioned, in ranked domination. So there's only one domination cap circle in the middle. And you'll notice that right at this cap and this island, there's a very narrow little gap. You have to sail through this gap. You cannot go into the cap circle at all. If you go into the cap circle, you're going to get disqualified. So you cannot go in the cap circle at all. So once you complete that, you'll notice that there, over where I was aiming there's another little buoy. Now you have to go and kiss the buoy with the tip of your bow. So that means not the side, the tip. And this part's not easy actually. It took me a couple tries to even get this right. So you want to come in and you want to touch the buoy with the tip of your ship. Now you'll notice that here in the first time I didn't touch it with the tip. I touched it with the side. It's not good enough. You got to try again. So I want to make sure I try it again, but in the second try, oops, I went a little bit too far and I went inside a little bit of the cap. That would have gotten me disqualified. So third time's the charm. Gonna get this right. There you go. Come in and you're gonna, oh, right there. Kiss the buoy with the tip of my ship. That's good enough. Now back out because you now have to do something else. So you gotta back out. You also notice that this video is actually sped up because, the full duration of this is actually quite a while because you are running around the map, the entire map actually. So next thing you got to do is you got to back yourself out of there and then come forward and you'll see that there's like a dock area here, a dock facility. So what you want to do is you want to come in, make yourself parallel to that big dock area and you're going to go parallel like I'm doing here and run yourself into that island. Then reverse out. And then you're going to make this reverse circle around the island. Yes, it's a little bit convoluted, right? But hey, it wasn't meant to be easy. This is supposed to be quite darn hard. You're supposed to figure out every little time that you can optimize in this run. Also have to figure out if you can optimize the usage of your speed boost as well. So when to use that speed boost makes a big deal. Alright, so you're going to reverse around this island. Now, in this particular case, I'm actually using my speed boost to get around the island, trying to make up that extra little bit of speed. Also, again, how much you use your rudder makes a big difference in these runs. Alright, so what you do is you're going to come around the island, and then you're going to reverse back into that dock. Now, you don't have to go parallel this time, you're actually going to go perpendicular, and you'll see that right at the dock, there's these two little pieces that actually stick out. You're going to park yourself in reverse in between that area, and as soon as you stop, you can head forward again. Alright, so that's about halfway through the race. So the next part, little bit more raw speed. This is you trying to get every single knot you possibly can out of your ship. And what you need to do is make your way through these two large islands. Again, make sure that when you are coming over here, you still stay outside the cap. Don't want to ever go inside the cap. You can go very close to it, try to minimize the amount of distance, but you cannot go inside the cap at all. Alright, so as you continue to head south, you're going to notice that there is this really big island. You're going to go on the outside of it, because if you go on the inside, you'll run into the cap. That's not a good thing. You're going to run on the outside, and then you'll notice that there's a sort of a little gap between this large island, the other large island, and you're going to cut between that, and you're going to do basically a partial figure eight. You're going to do like a partial figure eight. So you're going to come through this gap here. You're going to make your way in between the smaller gap, and then as soon as you do that, you're going to turn to the left, and you'll notice that there is a small island right there, a smaller island, it's not really that small, a smaller island right in front of you. You're going to do a loop around that, so in a way, having done like a figure, I guess it looks more like a figure 9 than a figure 8. Yeah, well, close enough. Okay, so you're going to make your way around this island. Again, I'm trying to stay a little bit further away from the coast, but a lot of you guys, you're gonna have to try to optimize your run. You're gonna try to maybe minimize the amount of distance you have to sail, so you really have to think about how close you want to come to these islands. I'm obviously just trying not to ground myself, so yeah. Okay, so now that you've run the obstacle course, and as a destroyer player, especially on Big Race, the one thing you really hate are those pesky CVs that really ruin your day on these maps. You know, they spot you, they spot your torpedoes, and they just ruin your day. And then when you want to try to kill them, they tend to be hiding. And this is the final stage of the mission. Now, in your run, you're not going to have a CV sitting here. For me, I wanted a demonstration purpose, so I had a friend get in a CV and go park himself into that very, very annoying little spot. So what you need to do is you're going to come here with your destroyer. Now, even though you will not have a CV, you do have to throw torpedoes in here. So you are going to get rid of your torpedoes, you're going to toss your torpedoes in there, you're going to sink your imaginary carrier, and then you're going to back yourself right over where the carrier is sinking and essentially do a bit of a teabag on him. So, and you'll see that there's a little piece of rock, light colored rock, and you put your stern right in the direction of that rock. And basically when you ground yourself, you are done. And what's going to happen is we are going to time this, and the people who finish, you know, from 1 to 10, you guys are going to win yourself some sweet goodies. And once again, there is the map. You're going to be following that green track, starting again where H3 would be. So that is sort of where that big pond is. That's not the best answer, but it's sort of where the big pond is in the bottom left-hand corner. You're going to start from there, do a little slalom through those two islands, head north, cut between the two islands, make sure you stay on the outside edge of that cap, go through the little gap, then kiss the buoy, reverse back into that dock, and then do that reverse circle around that island, which is what the yellow circle is, and then you're going to go back down south with the other green line, do a little loop, and then you're going to go back and you're going to sink that carrier. So that is the route you're going to take. So how are you going to submit these to me? Well, that's really easy. Make sure that you send me an email. Make sure you send that email to the address that's popping up on your screen now with the subject line 50K Big Race. And then, of course, in your actual email, make sure you attach your replay, and also make sure that you do also give me a timestamp about when you start. Now, we are going to be timing it with a separate stopwatch down to the millisecond if necessary, to make sure that we figure out who the first, second, third, fourth, all the way to 10th place winners are. And finally, the actual deadline for all the submissions. It's going to be November the 5th. And it's going to be that date because, you know, I still need to leave myself enough time before I disappear off for vacation to sort through all the replays and make sure I announce all the winners and get everything sorted and shipped out and all that kind of stuff. So November the 5th is going to be the deadline, so please get your submissions in. Also, if you have any further questions, make sure you leave those in the comment section below for information on how to enable replays, as well as how to, what's the other thing? Goodness. Replays. What's the other thing that needs to be done? Ooh, oh, and training rooms. There we go. Brain just dirt for a minute there. So for instructions on how to enable replays and the training room, check the video description below. I have links to threads that explain how to do that. Aside from all that, I wish you all the very best of luck. Looking forward to seeing the art as well as the race submissions. So yeah, folks, take care, enjoy this event, and I'm looking forward to talking to all of you again soon.